This is the roasted salsa verde. Turned out really nice. It's a batch of 3 jars and I had a little bit to put in the fridge, so if you're kind of wondering... Hello, howdy, and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm making roasted tomatillo salsa. So I've got all my ingredients, or most of them here. I don't actually have whole garlic, so I will be just putting in chopped up garlic later. There's a fly in my sink. Okay, now I got 1 onion here that's a little on the iffy side, so let's start with that one and see how bad it is. Maybe I need to get rid of it, maybe it's usable. See how far the rot goes. So I will be quartering my onions, I will be washing and peeling the tomatillos, and I will be washing the, calls for jalapeno, so I will be washing the jalapeno and putting those on. So these are, we went and picked these a little while back, so yeah, I don't know how clean they are. I'll just give everything a quick wash. Alright, there's that. Got my jalapeno. Like I said, they were fresh off the vine a little while ago, so give those a quick wash. And I will make sure to have the link to the recipe below. So I found this on a Ball's website. It's in their book as well, but I don't have their book, so I'm going off of what I find on their website. And this is also our first time trying actual salsa verde with tomatillos, because we've been doing the green tomato salsa verde, and it's fine. I like to cook with it. We make an enchilada casserole with it. That's really nice. But I thought this time we would try doing the real thing. Okay, so I'm going to get these peeled and cleaned. They have a little husk on them. You can just peel the husk back, and then I like to gather it up and then twist it off the stem end. Now I'll just speed through this. You don't need to watch me peeling and washing these, but they do have a bit of a sticky coating on them, so you are going to want to have to wash them well. And it did say in the instructions, I don't know if there's any specific reason for this, but it did say to put them stem end down on the cookie sheet, so I will be doing that. Ooh, that one's kind of rough. So I am recording some of these videos a little bit ahead of time, because I just don't want to push too many videos out at once, because I don't know what I'll be doing over the winter, honestly. Ooh, that one's kind of gross. So our last estimated frost date was supposed to be October 19th. It's like Halloween, and we still haven't had it. Or in fact, looking at the weather coming up, it looks like we'll be getting it in 2 days from now. So that's just insane. The weather has just been crazy this year. So we were lucky enough to find a farmer. We weren't looking for it, but we just happened to pop up in, you know, our newsfeed that a farmer was just discounting his produce. Come pick it, come get it. So we're like, oh, sure. So we went and got like 5-gallon buckets of tomatillos and peppers and tomatoes and all kinds of things. So over the next few days, I am going to be canning like crazy, and I will record what I'm doing so you guys can come along. And some of this is new to me. I have never made a roasted tomatillo salsa, so this is new for me. We'll see how we like it. I'm leery of putting in the lime juice. It does call for lime juice, but I'm going to make a small batch. We'll taste it. We'll see. We kind of had a bad experience putting in fresh lime juice with salsa. It was kind of very overpowering and astringent. So we'll see how it goes with this. But yeah, no, this is our first time trying this, so I hope you're coming along with me and learning as well, seeing how it comes together. Oh, there's my oven all nice and heated. And so the farmer was telling us that the yellow ones taste sweeter than the green ones. The green ones will taste a little more tart because they're less ripe. So I've got 4 pounds of tomatillos washed, ready to go. They're not in the right orientation, but I don't have enough room on my sheet for that. I do have my 2 onions quartered and my 2 jalapeno. It does call for some garlic cloves, which I don't have, so part of the instructions said to cook for a certain amount of time and then remove soft garlic cloves. So what I'll do is I'll cook for almost the full amount of time, and I will add in, so I've got pre-chopped from a bottle garlic. So I didn't think to get whole garlic while I was out. So I will just blop in some of that to equal however many cloves it calls for, and I'll just put that in the last maybe 2 or 3 minutes of the cook time. So this will go into a 425-degree oven for, I believe it's about half an hour total. I will double check that, and yes, I will have the recipe linked below. So, but if there's any major changes, if I say something totally off, I will make sure to just pop something up on the screen just to let you know, in case you don't feel like following the link. Okay, there you go. Most of them are facing down. There you go. I will see you when it's ready for the next step. I'm back, and this is out of the oven. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to process it now. I don't know if you can really see, but there's a lot of, here, let me tip it, there's a lot of juice in here. Now, this is my first time making this, and I think I would regret putting all this juice in. So I'm just going to scoop some of the juice in, whatever I end up getting with this spoon. But I'm not going to try to get all of it because I suspect it's going to make for a very runny salsa. But if I do need more juice, I will have it available. Now this has been sitting out for a little bit. I wanted to let it cool just so that it's going to be a little easier to handle. But I will be using the immersion blender because that's all I have. I did take the peppers off here because it does say to remove the stems and seeds. So I will do that after I get this in the pot. I will need to bring this back up to temperature before putting it in the jars, but that's fine. Okay, so that's the last of that. Leave that there. I'm going to set the juice off to the side. Okay. So these are the jalapenos. I will stem them and probably need to cut them to get the seeds out. I should probably take a look at my directions again. I don't think it said I needed to skin them, but if I do need to, this is the point where I might be able to, well, it doesn't seem like it wants to come off, so I guess I won't. Yes, this one wants to come off. This one must have gotten roasted enough, so I could take some of that off. Skins don't always puree down very nicely. So, and if you're sensitive to hot peppers, well, if you're sensitive to heat, you can substitute a smaller pepper or a less hot pepper. If you're sensitive to spice on your hands, you can use gloves. I've got my cilantro ready. I'm going to puree this first, and then I'm going to add, so that way my cilantro just doesn't vanish. Okay, well, I'm going to say that's done. I do have a wooden spoon. I'm going to put this on medium just so that it can start warming up while I am putting in the remaining ingredients. So it calls for, it's like 1/4 cup of chopped cilantro. I did wash my cilantro because I wanted to make sure there was no like little bits of sand or whatever in there. Okay, there we go. The cilantro. I'm gonna wash my hands again. Okay. Calls for half a cup of lime juice. I am using bottled. My fear is that this will be overpowering, but we're going to make the recipe once, the first time, the way it calls for, and we can make modifications from there. 2 teaspoons of salt, and I am using my canning salt. Okay, and I believe it calls for pepper. I will go find my recipe. Yes, it calls for 1 teaspoon of black pepper, so let's get that going. There we go. Okay, so those are all the ingredients. Need to decide if my cilantro pieces are too big. I might blitz that again just to reduce some of the size, but for the most part I'm going to bring this up to temperature and then put it in jars. Now this recipe does say it makes 3 pint jars, so it's a really small pathetic batch to run as a water bath canning load, but I'm just going to do it because I want to test this first to see if we like it. If we need to cut back on lime juice and add some other acid to it, maybe we want cumin in it. Ooh, that didn't stay on. Okay, that actually looks a lot better. Like I said, we will get this up to temperature and in the jars. I will clean up in the meantime so that I can set up for actually filling my jars. So I'll be right back. Okay, cleaned up, ready to go. So I have my 3 jars warming up in the hot water bath, which was actually on the back burner earlier. I have my rag for wiping rims. So let's get going. Take out a hot jar. My ladle today. I'm just using a spoon because that's what I messed up earlier, so let's see if we can save on dishes. Let's also see if this actually makes 3 pint jars. I suspect there will be a little bit left over, but which will be good because it would be nice to taste. There. I'll double check, was that ½ inch? ½ inch headspace. Alright, there we go. ½ inch headspace. And we go. On to the next one. Turn that up, start bringing it up to a boil. It might actually make 3 jars. So these are the Golden Harvest jars that I'm using, and supposedly instead of being a pint, they're actually 500 ml. So there is a difference. Big glove, it's hot. There is a slight difference in the amount they can hold. Look at that, we got a little bit left over. And there we'll fill that one. Now if you're making this recipe along with me, it does make 3 pints, but it looks like it also makes, I've got about a jelly jar's worth left. So if I had a jelly jar handy, I would probably can it but I'm going to actually just put this in the fridge so we can eat it. Okay, those are my jars. I will put my canning lid on, and I will bring this up to a boil. I will show you what it looks like. I'll probably show you what this looks like after it has sat in the fridge and cooled. So, I don't know if you can see how much is left. Get the funnel out of the way. So, that's about how much is left. It's probably a jelly jar's worth. So, they're out of the canner. They had a chance to process for the 20 minutes that was called for in the recipe. I had 2 seal almost right away, but this one, not sure it's going to seal, so that's fine. We'll just have more in the fridge. I did have a chance to pull this one out and try it. It has a very nice subtle flavor. It's very light in flavor, but it's got a nice consistency. It does have good flavor. I think it might need a little more salt, but you know, that's just personal preference. I would like to try it with a little bit of cumin, which I could mix into a small batch like this and test it. But other than that, this is how the salsa verde came together. This is the roasted salsa verde. It was quite nice. I think I would like to try, I have tons of tomatillos, so I'd like to try a regular salsa verde and just see how that one tastes, just to compare them, but you know, I will make more. This is the roasted salsa verde. Turned out really nice. It's a batch of 3 jars, and I had a little bit to put in the fridge, so if you're kind of wondering, it was what, 4 pounds, made 3 jars? That's not too bad, but I think I would definitely make bigger batches from now on, especially since it turned out and we really liked it. Now, I do think one of my jars may have a weaker seal. Not sure why, but I'll probably keep that one out, and we'll just try to eat it the next time we're doing salsa. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you found this video useful, please like and share so other people can also find this video. If you want to see how I make my fresh salsa, I'll have a link in the video for that. And I will see you next time on the Aerogarden Homestead.